You're listening to The Monks. You're here with The Monks. I'm Josh.
I'm Heather.
And thank you so much for being here. Is that okay?
That was perfect.
I don't know if I looked at the camera long enough. That's
Okay, we'll do it again then.
I'm going to try a different thing. So I'm going to say, I'm Josh. Then you say, I'm Heather. And I go, and you're here with The Monks.
Okay.
No, you're here with The Monks. No, I like that better. I already fixed it. You're here with The Monks. I'm Josh.
I'm Heather.
And I think I may have been too like
Okay,
that
do
type
it again.
of thing. No, I want to leave it like that. I just want them to know, like, I heard it. I did hear it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I did hear it. Like, you're not going to catch me out here, like, trying to... You're here with The Monks. I'm Josh.
I'm Heather.
I still went too hot. I'm going to try to land the plane on this one. Okay, this is take 3. I want to come in. I'm enthusiastic to be here, but my God, I'm not a mental patient. Okay. You're here with The Monks. I'm Josh.
I'm Heather.
Oh, come on! We had it, Heather. One of those may be usable.
Maybe.
I think all of them. Just run it.
I don't
Boom,
think I'll
boom,
have to
boom.
pull an old one.
I think you... No. I think... What? Different outfits? You're here with The Monks. I'm Josh.
I'm Heather.
And you're here with The Monks. Double, maybe just for brand recognition.
Oh my goodness.
It's my birthday weekend.
It's your birthday.
But I do a whole weekend. No. I'm one of those people now. It's my birthday month. Those are always fun people.
But if your birthday is at the end of the month, does that mean your birthday month is kind of August too? Like mid-July to mid-August? Or how does that work?
I honestly just go, look, it's the birthday.
If your birthday's at the front of the month, do you celebrate your actual birthday and then still celebrate? Or is it mostly like you're celebrating up to your birthday?
Well, you know me. I don't celebrate a whole month for my birthday.
Oh, I have been.
So what have you been up to?
I've just been partying for your birthday.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully having fun.
Out and about.
I can't party.
Clubbing.
I can't party. Never liked clubbing. Not even...
Really?
Well, you were there. But like even when like we should have or could have...
How many clubs do you think we've been to together?
3?
Yeah, not very many, huh?
We've known each other 23 years, I think. Something like that. Mm-hmm. It was always so... And here's the thing. Love music. Mm-hmm. Love music. Love dancing.
I never thought the club scene had a good music volume. It was too, it was like too blowing out the speakers where it didn't sound good to me.
Yeah. And I think the energy in Tampa clubs, at least in the early aughts, was like, it was hostile in different directions. I feel like girls were constantly getting groped and guys were constantly feeling like they had to get into a fight. Like, and I was like, this isn't a fun vibe. Like, that's not a vibe I want. I want like a vibe that is like, hey, we all kind of came here to have fun because they're playing music and we're here to dance. And it's just that weird energy. I feel like that's one of the weirder energies just of clubs where they're like, girls drink free. And I go, yeah, that sounds good. And I do think it's not as nefarious as it ends up being. I think they're like, hey, if girls are here, guys will come and pay to be here. But it does kind of feel like, get drunk.
Yeah.
Guys will be sober.
I would always get my free drink, chug it, crush it, another. If they're free, you know.
I do remember one of the 3 times that we went, that a guy got really mad because he was buying you drinks and you were bringing them to me. Like, we were both having them. And I remember just not like a big thing happening.
Ooh,
but I'm sure that happens a lot. Like, you know, and I actually...
I didn't ask for them.
Right. That is true. It's like if you're just sending them.
I didn't want them.
Yeah. If you're just sending them, it is what it is. I think that you have to send a drink to a person, you know, if you're trying to, like, if that's your romantic move, you have to send that in the same way that you used to, like, write a poem. It's like, I can't help if you like it.
Or cast a line into, fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casting that line.
It's like, it's not the fish's job to
line.
jump right on that bait. Just because you baited a hook doesn't mean I'm going to come home or go jump up in your boat today. That is such a weird thing, too. It's like, hey, tonight, can we close this tonight? It's kind of a weird energy.
Yeah, it is a high-pressure environment.
I mean, it's a high-pressure environment.
Yeah.
It's worse than used car sales. It's like, they're going to be closing soon. Find somebody. They made a whole song about it. Closing time. They're like, I hope you found your person. Because we're wrapping up, dude.
Yeah.
We got to go. We'd like to go home now. Because the people who work at clubs and the people who work at restaurants, that's a weird energy they bring to everything. The night timers, you know what I mean? They're partying all night. and sleeping all day.
You think they party after?
Absolutely.
Not
Yeah.
before. I'd party before during
Party
the day.
before?
I'd go, I can't stay up all night. I
They
gotta
have
party
to stay up all night.
before.
They're already going to be there till 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay, so then I should just party before so I could go to sleep at 2 or 3 in
They
the
go, I
morning.
can't party before and make it to 3 in the morning.
I don't know.
I feel like you're trying to party harder than what they actually party. They go, what? Before?
Yeah.
No, I woke up like 10 minutes before I had to be here. Man, do miss those days. Remember when you were young and you just wake up like 10 minutes before you had to be a place? Mm-hmm. Did you never do that?
I do that now.
Well, yeah, but you work remotely.
Yeah.
So it's a little smaller commute for you.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know when this it's been years now, but it's like, so when you're young, I mean, I would just get up like just enough time to like throw it all together and get it out the door. Make it just on time, or let's be honest, like probably a hair late. That was like all through your 20s.
At what event were you doing that?
Like work.
Oh, work.
Yeah, just work like every day.
Yeah.
Just kind of like just barely cruising in on time.
You do get up way before work just to sit. I don't think I like that.
It's necessary though, for me. You know what it is? I go, I can't start. It used to be I could start. I had my whole life ahead of me. So I'm like, no problem. I'll just roll. I'll start my day and immediately just like fly down to give you my time because I got so much time to burn. Like I'm young. Now I'm like, I need some time in the morning for me. For me. I got to start my day like good hour and a half.
Well, I've been feeling a lot better, more awake. I don't know lately. Since I started taking magnesium at night, I was taking it in the morning with my regular vitamins and realized I was dosing myself.
I mentioned that we took magnesium in the morning and I work with medical professionals and our physician's assistant was like, wait, you do what? And I said, I take like my allergy pill, like my finasteride so I don't lose my hair pill. I take my magnesium. And she's like, you take magnesium in the morning? And I said, say more things. Because you can tell when somebody's like, obviously I'm doing something that is incorrect. And she's like, you got to take that at night. Like you should switch that like immediately because it actually, it gets like, what is it, melatonin going?
Yeah, something. We were just dosing ourselves.
Yeah, and it like relaxes the muscles. And I have been sleeping great since we switched it. And I had for a year and a half or more, I would just be eyes burning all day. And I just thought, yeah, this is 40, man. Like, you're not going to feel not tired at all times. You just got to push through. It's miraculous in how much it changed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I told her
pretty quickly,
like within 3 days. And I told her and she's like, oh, okay, I'm glad. But whenever you said that, I was like, what are you doing? And I could tell everybody was like, because one person there is a physician's assistant, one person's a nurse. And then later on, the doctor, they tell him in that way that they're like, you believe this? And he's like, what? No, at night. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't
read the bottle.
Didn't Google that. It didn't say on the bottle.
Oh.
You think they would, like the way they said it, it's like, you would have thought it'd be on the bottle. Like, you don't do this.
Yeah.
But very few times in life do you tweak something and so quickly you're like, this is a real benefit I'm seeing. It was amazing.
That's just a PSA for everyone.
Yeah,
just take that magnesium. Take it at night.
Yeah. Because I was honestly taking magnesium to help with, I heard that it helped a little bit with just general anxiety, that it could kind of help with those sort of things. So I was like taking it for that. And I don't know. I really just thought the sleepiness was age related. And I did actually think, man, if I'm this tired now, what am I going to feel like at 60? I mean, my goodness. I mean, I am like eyes on fire tired here. It's amazing.
I got a text.
I got a text. I got a text. Love Islanders. If people who watch Love Island will know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Hey, where's your head at? Where's your head at?
I got a text that said that we had unpaid tickets, that we needed to go on click this DMV link. Yeah. You know, I Googled how to see if it's a scam.
Yep.
I went on the DMV, their actual website. Yeah. I checked. We don't have any tickets. Just a scam text.
Just a scam. Life is just the amount of scams that we just get used to. That we just go, oh, just a scam.
Just a scam.
Know? It's just we are just those frogs in that pot, man. Like, it is just slowly but surely. Like, I feel like in the 50s, that would have been like a town hall meeting level thing.
Right.
Like, it would have been like, wait a minute. people are calling people, telling them they have tickets they don't have.
No, texting.
Actually, you know what? I always say that. That's always my go-to. Is like, back in the day, I don't think they would have stood for this. And I think back in the day, they were just like put listings in a newspaper to convince you to send your kid to a farm, and they'd never come back.
Okay.
So I guess
they were scamming
has been a thing.
And carpetbaggers, and that the
carpetbagging. Like,
I didn't know if I feel more afraid or more weary of being scammed. I am more. Then a lot of people, I feel like maybe because I grew up in Florida, I feel like there was a lot of scamming going on there.
There's a lot of scam energy in Florida. Like, and I think even people who live in Florida right now, I'm like, but think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's aggressive. Like, I have had a lot of jobs in sales in Florida, and I would leave them because eventually you just figure out that you're working for a place that is not good. You know what I mean? And that happened several times where you're just like, what? This is the information they told me.
Why are we always so worried if you're going to get a check? You're working, you should be getting a check.
Oh, that side of it too. Like, you're worried about the money not being right, or the check not being, I used to have pits in my stomach going in like, man, this is nowhere near what it's supposed to be. Like, my commission should be so much higher. And I would be met without fail with like, who do you know at your age that makes that much? And I was like, what? Man, I'm banking on like a certain amount of money here. Like, it's crazy. But there'd also be so many times in my professional life, like, my life going through jobs though, that like a customer would tell me something and it would be true. I'm like, oh, they're right. Like, this isn't true. Like, and you're just out looking like a piece of crap to these people. I worked for this water filtration company. And basically my job was I would go to people's homes, and they gave you this little test kit, and you test the water, and then you just literally read like, oh, this color means that it has XYZ going on. Water filtration would be good, or, water softener or whatever, one of those things. And I just never forget. I went to this guy's house. He takes out a jug of water. I did think a jug of water was weird, but I was like, well, they do tell you we're going to test the water. And he was like, oh, yeah, I just got some. Didn't really think anything of it. Poured it in the thing. Shake, shake, shake. Yeah, this has got XYZ going on. That wouldn't be. And he just like stops me cold. And he's like, so you're saying there is something with the water? And I was like, oh, yeah, it's showing that, XYZ is going on. Very common in the area. And he goes, yeah, that came from my daughter's house. She bought one of y'all's systems.
Egads.
Yeah. And I was like, he could see, I think he could tell in that moment, like, I did not know what was happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like part of the inner circle of like, I am a stupid kid. Yeah. Because I was so flat foot. I was like, what? I think I probably said something like, that can't be. That can't be. Not the good folks at water filtration. Like, because I was like, but that can't be, because the water filtration would have filtered it out. And I'm like, did she, does she maybe, that can't be, sir. Like, they're telling us that the water is filtered. And I quit that job that day. I was like, I don't like this. This is terrible, man. And it was so obvious to me that he wasn't putting on to me. You know what I mean? He was like, I think he was a dad whose daughter had probably recently bought a house. So she's probably on the younger side. She probably made this decision on her own, and then he heard about it, and he did what dads do. He starts a full-fledged investigation. He goes, I can just imagine that conversation. You're telling me your water, out that way, it's been that water the whole time. We lived in this area for 30 years. That water's bad. That water now is bad. That's bad water. They're telling you need a filter. Okay. How much you spend on that? Oh, my God. Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one of these catch a predators on these guys, okay? I'm going to literally lure them out under the guise of water filtration test.
I wonder if he was so bummed that you were a young person that he was like, darn, didn't get
I think he
the closure I want. He probably set up another...
to get a grown-up.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, if I remember correctly, I'm in denim shorts. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even know how to dress for a job. Like, it is Florida, so he's probably like, okay. But I'm very clearly like 18 years old. Like, I have a Caesar front haircut. I'm wearing it tight on the sides. Yeah. I don't even have normal hair.
It well.
I have a Figaro chain. And what I'm probably trying
sleeves,
to... yeah, and I have sleeves, I think. I had like a polo untucked.
Ooh,
and I have a
fancy
clipboard. And in that clipboard, I remember, because there's one of those metal clipboards that like construction-y guys have. And I remember I was like, I don't really need anything in here, so I would just have a sandwich in it. and like some papers. So I'd always have to kind of like be like, "Ooh, don't let him see the sandwich." So I'm sure he was like, "This guy has a sandwich in here that his mom made him." I don't think I'm going to get the closure I was hoping for, because he was like, "And what are y'all going to do about it?" And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And I called the people, and they just didn't answer the phone because I'm just a kid. They don't answer. The owner of the company ain't going to answer my call. So I was like, can I leave? And he's like, yeah, you just go. And that was it. I just quit the job. I was like, yeah, I don't think I can do this. It was a very boring job. Even if it was like legit, it was a very boring job. At that age, just to be like, how long you guys lived here? Oh, nice.
You should do this.
What is that? I don't have a phone like that. At that time, I don't have a phone. If I'm looking at my phone, I go, I'm literally just watching minutes. You guys ever just watch minutes? Hold on, I got a text. Oh, Christ, that's going to cost me 10 cents. It doesn't matter if it's coming or going. They get you 10. Stop. Sorry, that's my personal. I can't. Stop! No! Oh, God. I'm sorry. Hello? You have to stop. I don't care what's happening. It's 10 cents. It's 10 cents a word. It's 10 cents a word. Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, I do guess text me. I won't remember that. Just do it. Okay. All right, bye. Almost.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't shake it and look at my phone in the act out. I was like, this is a real like head rub tummy pat or whatever.
Speaking of phones, I remember that place had a call center thing. And I want to say maybe I was in there occasionally doing that part. Ugh, the worst. But they had these the big clunky phones, but they had the rest-its. I remember there's a lady in there that would just crush. She'd just be on there like, oh my God. And you gotta want to check that water. Oh yeah. It's going to be, it's hard out that way. Yeah, it's hard water out that way. Where'd you say? Oh yeah. That water's notoriously hard. You ever smell it? What's it smell like? Sulfur. Yep, that's sulfur. That sulfur, she's looking around like she's about to bang the gong or whatever the thing is. That's when you know the environment's probably not correct. Like the more put on there is, like I always feel very, I've been in sales like my whole career, and I am so uncomfortable at places that are like overtly sales organization. I don't want to bang a gong. I don't want to do any of that stuff. It feels so gross to me. And that place was like big gong energy. They didn't have a gong, but they had like a cattle bell or something like, because on Friday nights, they probably go to their kids' game. They're like, come on now. Come on.
I think I'd like big gong energy.
Would you really? Yeah. You would like to gong? She did. She was the best setter of them all.
I wouldn't want to do the job part. I wouldn't want to call people, but I'd be the gonger.
I wonder if they'd hire you just to gong, so she didn't have to get up. That lady probably would have loved not to have to get up too much.
Oh no, I can't imagine you wouldn't want to gong your own gong.
That's true. Maybe you could bring it over.
Yeah. Oh, I could do that. And then I'd do a secondary, like, hold on, let me get 2 hands on it.
Then you have like a workman's comp issue, and you're trying to explain to a doctor how you've lost hearing at a young age. Well, my job, I bring a gong. You were going to say
a shoulder injury, like.
Oh no, I was thinking like you, and they're like, yeah, that was bad. That was bad to be behind the gong at that level. But yeah, that was one of the first jobs that I found out was not good, but it certainly was not even the last one.
Yeah,
that's one thing I really enjoyed when we came to California. Like it was just like a complete night and day difference, just breath of fresh air. Where I was like, no, the employers are paying what they said they're going to pay.
Yeah,
we're not gross, and I'm not finding out that like what I'm telling people isn't true. Because that happened so many times at different places in Florida where I was just like, oof, okay.
Yeah.
It's not a great feeling. Anybody who's been in that field is like, man, that it sucks too, because it's the thing that people think about that profession. You know what I mean? Like those things happen and you go, I don't want to be a part of that, man. I'm trying to just, the best salespeople are always the ones that are like, yeah, dude, we just solve problems. You come with a problem. Hopefully we can find a solution at a price that you can handle.
You got a problem.
Yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolve it. That's all we can do. We ain't paying for ice, baby.
I think we are now. I think the hook, I think that was part of that.
Crap.
What are your other scammy jobs? You did, before I met you, you had worked at briefly at a place that called and asked for money for the sheriff's department or something.
The
that
highway
was
patrol.
Was that a scam, or is that really going to them?
I guess, like, is it a scam legally speaking? I guess no. That's what they would say to me. You know, what I found out is you can call on behalf of an organization like the Highway Patrol and say, hey, I'm collecting, you know, and talk to people. And they give, say, $100, and you could give 10% of that to the Highway Patrol or whatever organization you're calling on behalf, and legally keep the rest of the money or whatever. I don't know what the exact percentages were, but it was majority going to the people with that company, and minority of the money went to the thing.
So
it's
wrong.
Crazy. And here's the thing: they don't tell you that like when you're starting. They don't go, hey, and just so you know, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. That place though, I do remember I was like had just moved out of the house, so I had like $500 to my name, and I just needed a job. And it was literally, I got this job, like, this is back in the day. So I'm looking at the paper, and I went and got this job because I was like, oh man, I can walk from my apartment. It's in this parking lot right next to my apartment. And it was next to an exotic fish store that stunk. And it was everything you would imagine this would be. This was not one that I was like, hey, I think I'm going to be here for a long time. And I think this is where you'd want to be for a long time. I walked in and very much was like, I may be the only person here who's not a criminal. Like, the energy was like...
And then you made your first call and you became a criminal.
I was so good at it, too. That was the problem.
Really?
I'm like, hello. Like, you know, I've always been pretty good with that kind of stuff. And the reason I left that job was that, like, they just never were going to pay you anything. They were just, they're scamming everybody top to bottom. Like, they just run through people. They don't care. I'm sure they were like, we only get two variety of people. People who just got off a bus, released from, like, the penitentiary, and a kid who doesn't know any better than to just take a job. You know what I mean? That is like, oh, wow, okay.
A kid who just got off the bus in the big city of Tampa.
I thought Tampa was such a big city when I moved there. I really did. I remember being intimidated going across the causeway. When you and I were heading to a fancy restaurant called Bahama Breeze on like the causeway or something. I remember being like, absolutely. I didn't want to put on because we were so early in knowing each other, but I was so terrified. I was like, wow, I've never been on a...
Were you driving? I feel like in the beginning of our relationship, I drove a lot. Now I refuse. I won't do it.
You had a much nicer car than I did.
That's
and
true.
that says something.
I did have to crawl through the window of your car to get in sometimes.
Yeah. The door wouldn't open, but the window would roll down and you crawl through. And this is why I go like, when they go like, how do you know she's your person? I go, this lady crawled through a window and didn't make me feel like hot garbage for it. You sat at one point, I forgot, because this thing's such a piece of crap. I completely forgot. It was you, me, and AJ, and you sat in the back. You were
remember.
You're like, I'll sit in the back. You're bolted in. You're like clipped in. And I forgot.
I got my seatbelt on.
Yeah, I had to slam on my brakes. I forgot. Back seat not bolted in. You flip forward.
Yeah. Attached to the seat. Almost going through the windshield.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to go through that windshield. I knew that. But I
was
thought for
attached
sure,
to
I was like,
it,
she's going to be crushed under the weight
I
of this
probably
thing.
hurt you guys
it was
pretty
a lot
bad.
of like, help! And he's like, "Is your seat not like? Why'd you let her sit down?" I was like, "I didn't even know. I don't think I've ever had 3 people in this thing. Like, no, 3 people are climbing through the windows. Like that was. I think you cut this way. He climbed through the window that time. You know, everybody had bad cars though. That's part of being young. You had the nicest car out of all of us, and it was like a Dodge Neon or something. You know what I mean? Like it was like, nobody has nice cars. Oh boy, I forgot about that car. That car had like 200 some odd thousand miles on it.
Was it a Jimmy?
It was a Jimmy. Yeah, my dad gave it to me. It was his car, and he was like, "We need something," and it was better than the car I had previous. So yeah, I needed a job where you're like gonna call on behalf of highway patrolman that's next to a stinky old fish factory or whatever, like, you know, exotic fish store. God, that smell.
Well, that reminds me of in Escondido, their downtown, their little main street has a like lizard store or something right next to a restaurant that has outdoor seating. And I just feel like that should be illegal.
For the restaurant, it's very unfair. I do feel like that isn't fair to the restaurant. Because
they picked the location though.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. They probably got a heck of a deal because they're like, well, it smells like wood chips with some fecal on it. Got some fecal on them wood chips over there, but we can get you a pretty good deal. People sit outside, they'll smell on that.
I feel like like nowadays you don't even get a good deal for that. They'd just be like, accept it. That's what it is. You're next to this store.
You anywhere, just a barrel in a junkyard. And they're like, yeah, that's going to be, and this is, first off, it's north facing. So that's going to be nice. And I go, what does that mean? Like, you'd know if like moss were growing on a tree that you're heading the right direction if you were lost in the woods. Oh, okay. So anyway, it's a pretty big barrel. It's in a junkyard. Watch out. That thing's swinging over, grabbing metal. They promise not to grab your barrel. And
as much as they can.
As much as they can. If they do grab it, they're not going to put it in the crusher. That has only happened once. Okay. All right. And that is $2,800 a month. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I feel like you said this is a great deal, and I live in a barrel in a junkyard that won't get picked up with the magnet thing often and has only been crushed once with a person in it. What? I just saw a house listing the other day, and it was just completely hollowed out. And it, like no walls, and it was like $700,000. And the location wasn't amazing. It wasn't like, but you're on the ocean. Because here's how stupid you and I are. If you it's true. If you gave us something on the beach.
Yeah.
And it was like, you can't, technically we're not supposed to let you live in it while you try to figure out how you're going to do it. You and I would be like, if we can just get internet, we will basically camp until we figure out how to do drywall. Like, there's no way we wouldn't do it. We'd be like, we'll do it. I don't care. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we are the epitome of location.
Big time.
We will move for a location.
Yeah. That's our move. We're going to try to, we want to get as close to the nicest amenities we can at the lowest price we could possibly get. Whether it's a vacation or living. That's what we like. We want to get on that stuff.
Yeah.
So you tell me the beach or something like that, something that's I'm like, yeah, I'll do some dumb stuff to be there. The easiest scams, in my opinion, to pull off on people are when they have a dream. Like, I used to feel that way in LA a lot. People get scammed left, right, and center, but not realize it was a scam because it wasn't that big of a thing. It wasn't earth-shattering. But like the first thing everybody who has ever gone to LA with hopes of entertainment stuff, every single person has a story how they got scammed into like bad headshots. They're like, man, I spent $500 on like the worst headshots. And the thing that always killed me with that is I go, just do good headshots.
I know, if you've already done so many scams, you must know how to take good photos. You would think by now.
Accident, you'd be like, I'm actually just a very good headshot
really
photographer.
Good at this.
But no, I got lucky. The first headshot I had was pretty good. It was just a lady who was good at taking headshots. But I felt like it was because
And then what about after that? You thought they were still good?
Yeah.
The next people that took them?
Yeah.
Did a good job?
Yes.
Or what?
Did you ever take headshots for me?
I took a lot of your headshots. Yeah, almost all of them.
Well, obviously you didn't scam me, or is this a long con?
Ooh, would you consider a con artist and a scam artist similar? Well, they're similar, obviously, but like similar. On the same playing field. Because to me, a con artist is like up here and a scammer's way down here.
It is true. I do have, and I don't know why, but you do have like inherently more respect almost for a con artist.
They're putting in the FaceTime.
They are. They're putting on like a show. You know what I mean? Like a con artist is usually like they're boots on the ground. They're doing a performance. You know, so you're like, hey, they got to nail this in one.
Yeah,
like they're really good. And I also think that in a weird way, I once had a thought where I was like, who has more belief in humanity than a con artist? Because most people are like, nah, I don't think just because I need it, somebody's going to give it to me.
I went for a job interview. Actually, 2 different times I've gone for job interviews that I thought were real job interviews. Yeah. One was to sell knives where you have to buy knives, which I think everybody's done that.
And everybody knows it. We won't say the name.
I can cut it out.
Okay. cut it out. They sell the most knives to people who think they're going to go sell knives. That's how that whole thing works. They're selling these knives at a 10 to 20 or 30%.
Yes. At a church rectory room, or what are those called?
And what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Yeah.
Why are you giving your rectory room to these people? And I don't know who's in the wrong here. I don't know if they trick the church, you know what I mean? I'm like, but come on. But I think it's at the very least, you know what they're doing there. They go, I want that air of like, people are going to walk in and think it's a church. You're safe.
Yeah.
At least that's how some people see churches.
And then another one was some kind of perfume. They called it an office manager position, but it was some kind of perfume. And that one really cut deep because I stayed the whole time. I really needed a job.
Yeah.
And then I remember at dinner, you and my dad were like, "This is a scam." Oh man, I need a job.
Yeah.
You would go sell perfume. And then at some point you would get your own office. I don't remember what the
It's always at some
carrot
point.
is.
Yeah, it's always at some
Why
point.
am I here? Why when they said you could leave, did I feel obligated? I said, I don't want to be rude. I don't want them to think I'm rude. I'll
Right.
stay.
Man, if you put this much work into a legitimate thing, I just don't think that it would be any harder. I think it'd be more fruitful for the scammer. When I was younger, I would work harder at a job to not work than it would take to just be good at the job. You know what I mean? I got elaborate bells and whistles everywhere to make sure that I get to sleep in a bathroom today, instead of just being like, just do the job, man.
Yeah.
But I always think that was scammers. That's how I view scammers. Con artists. I remember I read a book, and it was a guy who would impersonate being one of the Rockefellers. Mm-hmm. And he had millions of dollars, and he did nothing. What's his business? Nothing. You know, he's just conning people. Mm-hmm. And his was the same thing. He'd go to the most affluent areas in the most affluent cities in America, and he would immediately go to like their temple or their church or whatever, their place of worship that was, you know, that was like the big one. And he would just ingratiate, and he'd just boom, and he'd just work out from there. Mm-hmm. And usually what he was very smart with is, and this is something that I think, again, scammers don't necessarily think like this, but he would go to the older people and really put in the time. He's playing bridge, he's doing the thing, because they're going to trickle him down to the young.
That's where trickle down does work.
That's where it definitely works.
Con artists.
Yep.
Con artistry.
Con artistry. I mean, think about it. That's how much we respect it versus scamming. Scam. Scam. It sounds terrible, right? It's like, scam, you scammer. You're a con artist.
Yeah.
You're a confidence man.
Oof.
Right? Or woman. If you think about it, they're giving you the thing that you want. Like they're being confident so that you don't have to like overthink it. For someone to come into your life and just go, I got it. You don't got to think about it, man.
Yeah.
I got it. That's a great feeling. You have to be careful with that. And like I said, I think the people who, if you have a dream, it's where you have to be at your dumbest, right? You can't help it. You want a thing more than you want to be correct. You got to roll the dice on it. It wasn't your dream to sell perfume or to be an office manager for a perfume place or a cutlery company. So it's easier to walk away from that stuff. But what really bums me out is I go, you were in a position where even though you needed a job, you were able to like, you know, avoid it. Some people are like dire straits, man. They're like, I really need this to be a job. And I go, and that's where they get over on them. That really annoys me because I go, now somebody's spending hundreds of dollars on these knives they don't need. Because they're saying, oh, you're going to sell them 10 times over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This dude outsmarted their system. He bought the knives. He's like, oh, man, I'm selling the knives like crazy. But what he did was he circumvented their system, and he started basically doing his own, where he's now going on Craigslist going, hey, I got this great opportunity. And he's selling the knives that way.
He's the top of the pyramid.
So he skipped their pyramid scheme and got to the top of his own. And they were like, they're really having to pay this guy. So they're like, how is he selling somebody? No one ever sells.
There's always
knives.
some kind of iteration of that too, whether it's Tupperware, whether it's candles, whether it's essential oils.
Oh, God,
There's
remember the essential oil women?
Yeah.
They were going crazy on that stuff.
There's always something that they're doing it with,
Yeah.
that they're pivoting to.
Which is the ultimate scam if you think about it. Like these are all small, like the little fish on the belly of the whale. The whale it's so hard sometimes financially in this country that housewives all of a sudden that were just home taking care of kids are like, man, I got to try to jump into the workforce. I have no resume now. Young people are getting out of school and they have so much debt that they have to buy in. Again, it's like the dream makes you have to be stupid. Like you in your right mind, somewhere in you go, I know that these don't do anything. Like I know aromatherapy is not going to like cure something, but all of a sudden you're like, I gotta buy in on this. I gotta go. What was the thing too? It was like protein powder or something that everybody was on about.
I don't know.
I would get people from all over the world that were like, you know, coming to my job. When I worked at university, people would have these like shirts on, like everywhere, every part of the world's out here slinging this crap. And I go, at best, it's like protein powder. Is it something? Maybe, but is it as life altering as you know? Like I need a candle at this markup rate. Like I need a hole in my head. I can get a candle on the cheap, just in line at Kohl's where I'm getting my little like weird cashews on the cheap. That's a Kohl's purchase, man. That's I'm going to Big Lots and I'm getting 400 candles for nothing. Like, I'm not trying to go to a candle party.
Oh, we used to have a good Big Lots that had good. It just had good candle selection. Yeah, I would get a lot of candles there.
I feel so bad too when people have to do it. People don't want to do that. I really believe they don't want to do that. They don't want to have to tell all their friends over and over again to please come to a candle party or something. Like, nobody wants to do that stuff.
I remember, I think it was my sister that was doing one that was purses, but it was like you bought the inside of the purse and then the outside was different. You would do different. And I was like, these are so ugly.
Yeah.
They're so ugly.
And she didn't want to be doing that.
Oh, no.
She's not like passionate about these purses. She just was trying to get going. And I remember you came home and you had this interchangeable purse with a bunch of little slides that go over it. And I was like, what is it? And you're like, I don't know. Like, never use it. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. That's the thing. Like, every time there's a bad thing, you can look a little further and see a good thing. It's like, I love my sister. I want to make sure she's okay. You know, I if she's doing this, I want to support it. If my friend's doing candles, okay. It's almost like I want to be honest with my friends and go, just tell me, put me down for 3 candles. I don't need to do the whole night.
I don't want to come to the night.
I'll do the 3 candles. And it just,
I would come to the night if you didn't have the extra person that is in your life that you're hosting the party for. If it was just like you came over and we had to buy 3 candles. We were just hanging out with each other.
Everybody goes real high when they're like, oh, is that person like being trafficked? I go, look for your friend who's being trafficked into the candle business. Like, who has a handler that's just around, and it's like, who is this person?
Yeah, we're all getting bad makeovers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Why can't we all go to Sephora? Sephora seems to have a handle on this thing. Like, what? Why are we trying to undercut Mary Kay? Or like, what's happening here? The Mary Kay people go hard. That's a sales organization and a half. I don't need that energy around me. You know what I mean? I don't need you trying to get a pink blazer on my watch. And it always is the same. It's like, you start here, but you get a team eventually. And I was like,
oh yeah, the team.
The team.
There was one time, didn't you get driven somewhere to sell Disney tickets or something?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah. Where was that in Florida? Or was that?
It was in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Imagine that, right? You're in Florida. And you're trying to sell Disney tickets. Man, this is when you're
It was a one-day thing,
yeah,
I
you're
think.
so young. You're just doing stuff. I didn't even make the whole day.
Oh.
I literally said to him at one point, the guy that I was with was cool, and he was able to sell these. And it was like, hey, they are getting the ticket. I don't think it was like so scammy that it wasn't like the ticket was legit. But then again, who knows? I didn't like go to the park with these people.
Yeah.
But we're just going to a couple of office parks, and this guy's just literally going in cold, talking to people in Florida about tickets. And you can imagine, every person's like, I know people who work at Disney. I don't ever pay for tickets to Disney, you know, but he'd get a few people here and there. And I just was like, can you return me to my automobile? And it wasn't that far. It was like, I had met him, you know, at the first, I was like, just take me back. I was like, I know 100% this ain't for me. We had a friend one time that had a similar thing where they just gave him a bunch of corporate art and it was just in his trunk.
Oh,
and they just had to go around and try to sell this to offices. And I go, just, you've worked in an office. Like, do you know, I mean, I feel so bad when people come into like our office. Hey, can I ask you a few questions about your printer? It's like, nobody cares, dude. No one here can make a decision.
No, nobody.
That's the first thing. No one can make a decision. And no one cares. Whatever it is, no one cares. Oh, the art's going to be different? I don't care, man. This is my fluorescent tomb. I do not care. Yes. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. There's nothing you could offer me right now other than a sack of money.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. If you're one of those like viral videos where they're like, I'll give you $100,000 to walk off the job, you go, I'm interested. I'm listening.
Maybe you could offer me like a ladder so I could tighten this flickering bulb.
Yeah, exactly. Get me a guy to thump that thing. Could you do that? Because I don't care what art's on the wall.
No.
That's not what I'm doing, bud. You know that's not what anybody here cares about. I don't care about Disney tickets. I don't even want to be reminded that there's a Disney out there right now. I'm at work, dude. But I forgot all about that. I literally forgot. The amount of one-offs, when you're in sales and young, the amount of one-offs. Like, I remember like maybe for a week, I was like a weed guy going around like, oh, you got some weeds. That was door to door. And that was Florida Sun. And again, I was halfway decent at it, but sometimes you just got to know what ain't for you.
You know what else I think is a scam? Paying to park at a hospital. Ooh, that makes me so mad. It feels like such a gouge, like such a taking advantage of people while they're in obviously a bad place.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like that scam at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's considered a scam, but to me, I think it's a scam.
I think there's a lot of things that are technically kind of scams.
Yeah.
That, like I said, we're just that frog in the pot, just slowly being boiled, because there was a time that would have just been completely unacceptable. It's like, I'm coming here for a treatment that was scheduled, or I'm coming here for an emergency.
Or to see somebody that's...
Exactly. Any way you slice it, why am I paying to park here? Like that can't... What are we paying for with the parking? Sometimes with that kind of stuff, I want to be very honest, and I go, with these prices and the way our medical system is set up, we also need to pay for parking to make this exist, really. Because like... working at like not-for-profit hospitals, you go, there's a lot of profit.
That's a scam.
That not-for-profits in general. And I'm not saying that there's not good organizations, but like you need to be very clear about what your top-tier people make. Because there's a lot of organizations the world over that are not-for-profit that have people in their executive roles making high six figures, low seven figures. And I go, I think when a lot of us take our very much not anywhere in that stratosphere of money and give it, we really are hoping it's going to those kids. Like almost all of it.
All of it. I'd say all of it. I expect all of it to go.
Here's the thing. Do I understand that like your employees deserve to get paid a livable wage? But I don't know how we then skip boop, and it's like, oh, you have an infinity pool overlooking the city? You don't think a wealthy donor could donate to somebody who isn't also wealthy? You really think, like, what? I need this person to make so much money that they're now running in the same circle? No. Even if you make a ton of money in that role, you're not running in the same circle of like Bill Gates. He's still going to give you some money, yeah? Livable wage, like fair pay? Sure. But sometimes it's stratospheric what they're taking in salary. And not-for-profit hospitals are very much like that.
Yeah.
Because they can say not-for-profit, but they can add another wing to the hospital. They can do that. And that sounds great. Like they can really make that sound great. And there are parts of it that are. But then it isn't like that new wing is just free for your kid to come and receive those services.
Not only that, but it's like they won't staff it and they won't pay the staff.
Yep. Isn't that wild? They'd rather, because again, the building's worth something, right? That's a tangible asset. And so they'll add a wing to it knowing it's not going to be operational for another decade. But they won't pay the person down in like the cafeteria that's been there 30 years, $20 an hour. Something that could actually keep up with like the cost of living in their area. The worst pay I ever had on this earth was working for a hospital.
Yeah, not me. I've had worse pay.
Well, I mean, as an adult.
Yeah.
As an adult.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
by far the worst paying job I ever had. And it was just like a given. They were like, oh, yeah, no, there's no way this will ever pay good. You know what I mean? And it was a not-for-profit organization. Yeah. And I thought, well, they certainly knew where they were comfortable tourniqueting those profits. They were like, not to the people.
Right.
And not for less cost to the people. You know what I mean? Those we got a harpist.
Got
a harpist. Everybody walked in. Ooh, thank goodness for the harpist. How much is this again? A staggering amount that will bankrupt you.
Yeah. Are teachers being scammed? Like, are they now in a position where they have to pay for so much stuff themselves?
Yeah.
That feels like the education is scamming.
Yeah.
Not only the teachers, but probably the parents as well.
Right. I'd say that is a scam. It is. Like, here's the thing. I think that people go into teaching. It's so obvious that most people go into teaching because they want to be teachers. You know what I mean?
I can't imagine somebody who's like, I hate teaching, but I want to be a teacher.
But there's lots of us who go into stuff that we go, look, am I overtly passionate about this thing? No, but I can make good money doing it. And I think teachers are quite the opposite. They go into it going like, I'm overtly passionate about this and I'm acutely aware this is probably not going to pay great in comparison to someone who went out and got degrees and stuff.
And they probably make the same amount that a teacher in the 70s makes now.
Right.
I don't think they've ever increased that amount.
Even if the amount increased, I'm sure the amount has increased, but I'm sure it did not increase. Like if you look at those times to what it makes now versus the cost of living at those times to what it makes now, I'm sure percentage-wise.
Well, I don't think anybody really like does closes that gap.
And that is the one way that they keep me in sales. Sales is one of those things where you go, well, you get to write your own paycheck. To a degree you do. Although I have always found that when that paycheck starts to get to a certain level, magically, there's going to be some changes to compensation. They're like, oh, hold on, you're flying a little too high here.
Yeah.
But teachers, we have a friend that is taking a year off because she had to have a surgery. And basically, like, our friends did the math and they're like, look, if we pay for childcare for our youngest, it's all of your check. It would be better for you to take a gap year and just like recover from this surgery and just watch our kids. Like, and that's crazy because I go, that means like somebody to watch her one kid cost enough where it's a net neutral to her basically watching and teaching, what, 15 to 25 kids?
I'd say 30.
30?
I mean, I can't imagine. I don't think I even had a class
Right.
that was less
We
than
always
30
had
kids.
like, and I went to a small school. Like we had 100 people graduated in my senior class. Every class still had 15 to 30 kids in it. And it was like a minuscule
I don't
small
think
school.
I think I had one class that had probably 15 kids. The
Yeah.
rest were like 30 kids minimum.
Yeah. And you went to a good sized school. You graduated with like 1,000
Probably
people
1,000
or something like that.
kids,
So to
yeah.
me, that's a big school. Like here, when we live in these cities like LA and San Fran, and so I go, man, I can't even imagine how big these classes are that these kids are in.
I think even Orlando's size
Yeah.
classes were huge compared to my class size. Yeah.
Well, all of our friends who went to like Dr. Phillips and stuff, when they talk about their school, I'm like, wow, that's massive. Man.
Yeah.
That's just like a huge school. But Orlando has, what, 3 million people in it? I mean, it's a big city. So one kid, for a teacher to have their child watch properly, it can just vanish their entire. And she's been teaching since
20 years. It's got to be 20 years because
like graduating college, and you know what I mean. I'm like, she's been doing this forever. So it's not even like, oh, this is their first year teach. It's like, no, this is a person who has been doing this for almost 20 years now, and she's like, yeah, just makes more sense to take a year. And I hope she enjoys it. I know she's recuperating, but I hope she enjoys it. But I'm just like, that's crazy. So is it a scam? I think it's, again, when you love something, you're more susceptible to it. These are people that love people. They love kids. They love teaching.
obviously we don't have kids, and I've never not voted for a tax increase on school
Same.
stuff.
Every
I'm like,
single
yeah,
time. Every single
I think
time.
it's important.
I do. I really do. Like, and that's not like beating a dumb drum. I go, look, be selfish. Think about it. I want the most educated
You're gonna be
people.
living in society with these.
Right. I'm like, it ain't me being like a great person. It's actually the opposite. I go, look, whatever you're going to be doing for me, I'd like you to know how to do it. I'm going to be driving on bridges. I need some engineers. I'm going to have a thing go pop in here. I need somebody to not go, hold on, let me YouTube it. You know, I need somebody who's maybe got a knowledge base.
Absolutely.
I don't need to watch my doctor talking to Chat GPT to try to figure out how to diagnose me. I'm looking for some smart people here.
Yes.
And eventually we keep them dumb. We're not even going to have chat. Like, who's going to be continuing to program this stuff if we just dull it out all the way?
Oh, I think they fixed it. They've got, it's doing it itself.
Oh,
It's
boy.
learning its own stuff.
Great. And then they're just going to go, all right, scalpel. I go, hold on. I know enough to know I shouldn't be awake right now. If you're already to scalpel. Okay, hold on. We're going to revert back where it's just going to be a guy come in with an ether rag and just like, you're like,
Yep. Or bonk you on the head.
bonk you on the head or bite down on the stick. And I'm like, hold on.
No, thank you.
We're going backward, all because people didn't want 2 more cents on sales tax. I actually feel a comfort falling toward the bottom, smarts wise. Like if I walk into a room and I'm like, I'm kind of toward the bottom, I feel pretty good because I'm not the dumbest guy in the world. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, great, we got a lot of people here who can handle stuff. If I get on a plane and everybody's dumber than me, I'm like, I don't want to be on a plane with everybody.
I
being
feel
dumber.
like I'm not the dumbest person until I've hit record. And then I'm like, no, I don't know
That is
nothing.
true. I don't know a thing.
Can't say words correctly.
Prime example, I went to an F-rated high school. So if I'm not saying stuff correctly, then that actually goes to the point of like, yep, take the hit, pay for people to get stuff because I went to an F-rated. I so distinctly remember they didn't have a rating system until our senior year. And our school was like, hey, there's a rating system. They seemed like they were kind of excited about it. That's what I remember, like kind of the chatter. And then I just remember they're like, did you hear about the rating? And it was just F.
Ours must have been at least a C because I never
hear
heard
about
anything about it.
Man, we heard about it. They were like, it's not looking great.
They said head scratch like.
I said, I'm not surprised. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not surprised.
I've been
dude.
taking in this information from the classes and I'm not surprised.
I've been seeing what I've been seeing and I'm not surprised. I think that's fair to call that a scam. Whenever you see your friends who are teachers and they have to buy the supplies or they have to ask their friends like, hey,
Yeah.
can you donate? You know, I go, they don't want to do that. They shouldn't even be having to do that. Mm-mm. That is a scam. And then it gets passed down to me. Now I'm buying pencils and stuff.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy your pencils.
Hope you enjoy your pencils. Are they even using those anymore? Now I got to buy $40 styluses. I've been on both sides of the scamming to a degree. Like I've mostly been scammed. But when I was a kid, me and a buddy, we worked at a gas station, like tourist trap, like Orange Place. I've talked about it on here. It's the one that had a gator. You know, you're in a product that rots in the sun. You know, oranges. So every day you'd have to bag oranges, and every day you'd have to go through and get the rotten ones and throw them out. And then tourists would drive up. They're coming off the turnpike and they go, hey, how much for oranges? And if you came into the store, it was like 2 big bags or like, $30 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we started to be like, well, 2 for $20 if you're doing cash. And, pop little 20 bang in the pocket till. Mm-hmm. Just a little taste, just getting a little seasoning on the day. We're like, hey, we're doing it. Most people are coming in and doing it. It's just every once in a while. And then, but these are teen boys. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden we're like probably getting a little too salesy with it. Like people are getting out of their cars. We're like, boom, hey, hold on. Hold on. Hey, what the? Get back in there, bud. Unless you use
turn that air conditioner up.
Yeah. What do you need? What do you want? And what do you need? And do you have cash? If you have cash, we're doing 2 for $20 on these bad boys. And then I do think they started to pick up on that. There started to be questions like, these people have owned this this place for quite a while, and they're like getting a lot of rot this season. I'm like, hotter.
Global
warming.
Climate change.
Think about your choices in trucks, guys. Yeah. So we're doing that. It's going, and then again, teen boys are going to start to get cooking on it, and it really turned into a little bit of like a miniature Goodfellas movie for us, because my buddy's like, I'm doing T-shirts, and I was like, hold on, these are tangible goods. You're getting crazy. They don't go bad. Mm-hmm. And then word came down the food chain, like, we're going to be checking inventories at the locations, which means there's been a reverberation at this point. Like and I told you, like, we got to cool out. And I remember like when I knew, it's like the scene in those movies where like the money till's going off and it's getting to, but you're one guy's like taking too much up the nose and you're like, calm down. And he's like, no, I'm going to meet with the Colombians myself. I think I know how I can get us a better deal. And you're like, this is not going to go good. I think our moment was that, and I said, hey man, I'm at one of the locations here. Did somebody steal the little baby sharks that are in formaldehyde? And he goes, no, I sold 2. And I said, oh, nobody's ever bought those before. And he goes, no, I sold them cash. And I said, that's bad. These are things that have been there in that place. I'm not even kidding. Like 40 years, these things have sat there. Mm-hmm. They're so that people can walk in and see them. No one's buying them. You're not flying home or driving home with a formaldehyde baby shark. We're done. The feds are coming. We're done. We got to walk away from this whole thing.
Any more thoughts, feelings, jokes on scammers this week?
Not this week, but I do think these kind of things excite me. So I could see doing a part 2 at some point.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think everything's a scam. So.
I love you.
I love you. I do love you. I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
We didn't hit record.